Tomorrow, the 20th of May 2016, the University of Fort Hare will hold its centenary, where President Jacob Zuma and Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe are expected to address delegates, alumni, students and the public. This report by Aldrin Sampear.
It's a rich legacy. 5 presidents came from this institution. Nelson Mandela, Botswana's first democratic president, Seretse, President Julius Nyerere of the United Republic of Tanzania, the first president of the Republic of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, and Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe. The alumni stretches wide, from politics to business, sports and the judiciary.
I can't forget Charles Newpin, Paul Pretorius. It was those group of those people. On the other hand, we had a powerful SASO, where the president was Themba Sono, where the Herinengwe Kulu, we were fiery speakers. Also on the other side, we had Steve Biko. They understand that the influence of these different ideas was energizing us as students.
There are a long list of men and women who carved Fort Hare's niche, student activism. After all, this is the political school of the likes of the PAC's Robert Sobukwe and the longest-serving ANC president, O.R. Tambo. Throughout the generations, student activism at Fort Hare has remained vibrant.
The culmination of that was a remarkable manifesto written by the students. The opening words of that manifesto says, "We, the students of Fort Hare, having exhausted all possible means of communication and meet with diluted frustration, we hereby resolve." And we resolve that if we don't change, we're not going to classes. The first day, we submitted the memorandum. Second day, third day, the Sky police came to arrest all of us. They were beating us in the dormitories.
There were lots of activism. I was on the other side. I mean, there was lots of activism in terms of people clamoring for better educational facilities.
What we need to do is to learn from universities like Fort Hare, to learn from the Walter Sisulu universities, because for the past 10 years or more, they have really been now asking the critical questions of what is the purpose of university? What kind of graduates are we churning out? What is supposed to be the content of the information we're giving our students? What does the curriculum look like? What kind of a student do we want to graduate from our universities? Because 10, 15 years ago, students were graduating from Fort Hare and not being employed.
Ironically, throughout the generations, the issues have remained the same.
There were problems inside the university itself, where there was issues about accommodation, there's issues about the food, issues about the allocation of courses.
Sometimes there were what I would say mundane, where students complained about the food, the accommodation, but there were times when there were serious issues that were pertaining to the political situation in the country.
Students were struggling with paying for their fees, they were struggling with paying for accommodation, they were struggling with paying for food, with paying for textbooks. Most of them came from schools that spoke Xhosa as the primary language, and the medium of instruction at Fort Hare was English.
Student activism here at the University of Fort Hare has taken a violent turn. It has become synonymous with violence, and this is what we saw during violent protests, during the Fees Must Fall protests. And it seems as though that compromise is not on the cards for these students. And the options of the likes of Irvin Khoza of staging a stay away is not what these students are willing to go for. Have they really reached the level of no compromise? In 2006, Nomsa Mazwai became the first female SRC president here at Fort Hare, and she maintains Fort Hare and other higher education institutions face a critical challenge. The question is, will Fort Hare live up to the challenge? Aldrin Sampear, SABC News, the University of Fort Hare.